Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to re-attract her. In other words, how do you re-attract a woman when you've done things like make stupid mistakes, or maybe you acted needy, or maybe you chased her too much. And so she's gone kind of cold, she's kind of distant, like when you call her or you go out with her, she's like a little lukewarm, not really that excited to hear from you or to see you. Well, these things usually happen when you first start, because like a lot of guys, when they first start dating a woman, they're like, oh, she's kind of cool, she's a cute girl, and they're, I'd say maybe their interest level is maybe 60 to 70% on the average woman that you're going to meet. Not you're like super awesome enthused to go out with her, but you're like, hey, she's a cute girl, I'd like to go out with her. So you go out and you spend time with her, you have a couple good dates, and what happens is you're not really that enthusiastically into her, but what happens is as you go out with her, she does a good job of raising your interest in her. And so what a lot of guys run into problems with is when that point happens, when he starts caring and starts liking this girl and she becomes important to him. If normally when he calls her, she calls him back right away, or he sends her a text, she texts back right away, and he notices that, wow, she doesn't seem to be texting back to me like she was. And like when I took her out last night, she really didn't seem to be really into making out with me that much. And so when that happens, most guys start to freak out about that and they think, oh my God, what's going on here? I have to do more. I have to chase her. I have to call her more. I have to do this. She must be forgetting about me. And so what happens is they just jump all over her. And then what happens is they'll leave a message, and then maybe she doesn't call back right away. And then like 2 hours go by, they call again. And then maybe the next morning they call and they finally get a hold of her. Like, hey, where were I? I was worried. Thought maybe something happened to you. And what's happening is she sees you blowing up her phone, and what's been going on is the attraction that she feels for you has started to drop, because what happens is you're starting to chase. And in essence, what a guy does in those situations is he goes from acting strong and maybe a little indifferent, focused on his careers and his goals, to he stops focusing on his careers and his goals, and he starts focusing more on her and whether or not she likes him. And this is the kind of behavior that women do and women go through, because women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Women need time and they space away from you so they can think about you and they can wonder about you, and they can talk to their girlfriends about you and tell them about the date you went on or the dates you've been going on, and work through their emotions. But when they're doing that and they're off doing their thing, you're constantly chasing them, texting them, blowing up their phone. It never gives them a chance to miss you or to think about you or to wonder where they stand with you, because at the end of the day, women are definitely more attracted to guys whose feelings are unclear for them. And I got an email here from a guy who's got a gal that he was dating, and she dumped him about 4 months ago, and so he's trying to re-attract her. And I can tell his problem here is that he just doesn't wait long enough. He'll purposely hold out for a few days, and then he'll call her. It'll have some of it a positive effect on her when he calls, but then since he's waited a few days, then he starts picking right back up where he left off, which is chasing, running after her, and then she gets turned off and disinterested again, and it's really frustrating to him. He says, my problem is whenever I leave this girl alone for a week, she would love my attention whenever I reappear. And what this tells me is that you're not waiting for her to contact you. You wait for a few days or maybe a week, and then you call her, and she's really not that, she's cool, she's glad you called, and then you call her the next day, as opposed to just doing the same thing. You call her, and then you wait a week, and then you call her again. He says it's like the next day, it's like I don't even exist. I try to talk to her, and she'll give me one-word responses or won't put any effort into her responses. And you got to pay attention to that. Page 120 of my book is the interest level table. So that communicates that she really is not that into seeing you. And so when a woman is cold like that and she's lukewarm, I wait a whole week. I call her back the following week. If she's like this on a Monday, call her the following Tuesday. See how she is, and then plan a date, a definite date, and then get off the phone, and then make sure you set your date 3 or 4 days off into the future. So he says, there's another guy, though. She'll give him all of her attention. I don't know about this guy, but we're in the same circle of friends. I guess they started talking when I disappeared last week. I see them talking, and she'll laugh at his jokes. And I would say it's not that she hooked up with him when you disappeared. It's because you're acting weak and needy. You can't hold out, and you're not waiting for her to get back to you. So basically what this girl knows is she can have you anytime that she wants. And so therefore, there's nothing, she doesn't have to work to get you. You're a piece of cake. You're easy. You're a known quantity. And the reason she broke up with you 4 months ago is because you did enough things and you acted weak enough times to where she decided she didn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. And so now she's simply looking to find a man who acts like a dominant male. And what's happening is you start to act like one, and then after a few days you can't take it anymore. You can't hold out any longer, and you're just too afraid to find out if she'll never call you again, and so you keep chasing her, and you don't give her that space. So he says, I see them talking, and she'll laugh at his jokes. She'll even try to keep the conversation with him, even though it's not all that interesting to her. And that's because she has interest in him. She's like this every single day with him. With me, however, she only acts this way when I return after a week. And that should tell you something. It should tell you that after a week, her attitude towards you is better when you haven't called her or contacted her. And so what you really need to do is nothing at all. You need to walk away completely and focus on other women and dating other women, practicing your skills and getting other women in your life so you're not consumed about this ex here. Because right now, whenever she talks to you, she could tell that you're the only thing that you have going on in your life personally and sociably. He says our circle of friends has a online chat, and he basically goes on there all the time to chat, and basically she ignores him until she's done chatting with these other people. And the reason being is because she knows you'll wait around and you'll always be there. And alpha males don't act like this. Alpha males like, hey, I'm going here. You want to come along? No? All right, give me a call if you change your mind. I'd love to hang out. And they go about their life and their purpose, and they don't wait on a woman. Your problem is that you're waiting on her, and it's like you're waiting on her for her approval to validate you in some way that she still likes you. And that in and of itself, just acting that way communicates, I'm not worthy of you. I don't deserve you. And that's why she's treating you like you're really not a big deal. And I'm not going to read through this whole email here, but down at the bottom he says, I'm very fed up with this, and he's really angry and pissed off at her. But at the end of the day, hey, dude, you can't get pissed off at her because this is your issue. This is your insecurity. This is your fear and your doubt. And basically what you're doing is you're acting like a little girl would act. You're acting like a little girl does when she needs love and reassurance from her father. What does she do? She goes and runs and sits in his lap when she feels content, filled up, and like he loves her again. She hops off his lap and runs around the house, chases her brothers and sisters, and has a good time. And when she misses him or she falls down or somebody said something to her feelings, she goes and sits in his lap for that love and reassurance again. And you're basically doing this with your ex-girlfriend. It's like you hang out and you wait for a week, and then when you can't take it anymore, you contact her, and then it's like you go sit in her lap like a little kitten or a little puppy. And, she'll find you cute for a little while, but, when you call the next day and she's cold and she's lukewarm, it's because you're chasing her again, and you're basically acting like a little girl would act. And so you want to know what the best thing you can do is walk and never look back. Don't call this girl again, ever. Because if she likes you and she has any chance, you have any chance with her, she'll get back in touch with you. And so when she does get in touch, you say, hey, it's great hearing from you. Hey, let's meet up for a drink. When are you available this next week? Tell me the days you're available. And then plan something definite with her and say, awesome, I will see you there. And if something comes up, I'll shoot you a text. Otherwise, I'll just see you at the restaurant or the place or whatever. Or you'll pick her up. Whatever it happens to be, the point is you got to make definite plans with her. And if she won't make definite plans, just say, all right, hey, I got to run, but, give me a call if you change your mind. And just to have a very lackadaisical, easy-peasy attitude, just like you did. Because when this guy says he first met her, this is the way he was. He really wasn't that into her, and she was chasing him and blowing up his phone all the time. And it's like that worked back then. That's one of the ways that you got her. And so chasing her is just pushing her away. And so you shouldn't chase her because it's just going to push her away more. You should employ more of a strategy that has worked in the past instead of doing more of what's turning her off, which is chasing her. You just got to grow a set of balls, dude, and hold out and move on. And, you got to be realistic because she may never call you. And if she doesn't call you, it just means that her interest level, is in the 40s and you're out. But who knows? Maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now, when it doesn't work out with this other dude, she'll probably text you or call you. That's just the way it works. Stay off the chat rooms and stop trying to force things to happen, and that's your problem. So if you find this message of value, you could show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button, and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. If you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic that you'd like me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 3 or 4 paragraphs max detailing your situation, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response because I got a lot of email from the internet and I got a ton of it from my paying phone coaching customers, and I got to focus on their emails first, but be patient and I will get back to you. And if you'd like to talk to me right away, you can book a paid phone coaching session with me personally by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.